Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast Nintendo News Minute. I'm your host, N64 Josh, and we're going to jump right into this. Here we go. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom drops tomorrow, April 13th, 2023. There was a tweet from Nintendo. It says, join us on 4/13 to watch the final pre-launch trailer for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Live streamed on our YouTube channel. The trailer will be roughly 3 minutes long. Now, I went into Nintendo's tweet and replied with a GIF of the penguins fighting Bowser that said what it looked like when the marketing team asked the dev team for one final trailer, because it is very apparent they are keeping everything very close to the chest. We know they're going after that leaker. That's going to be bad news for that person. And they want to keep this game as quiet as possible, because they want us all to be surprised by what's going on here. Now, again, just pure speculation, but I have a feeling this game is going to be one of the darkest Zelda entries that we've ever experienced. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game didn't end on somewhat of a cliffhanger, or maybe doesn't even resolve right away. Now, does that mean that'll be a third game in the Breath of the Wild trilogy, if you will, or possibly some DLC coming down the road for Tears of the Kingdom? But I have a feeling this may be the first Legend of Zelda game that does not end with Link as the champion of Hyrule. Just a guess. There's no, I've got no inside info, nothing like that. Just my gut feeling there. So stay tuned. I will have a reaction to the trailer tomorrow. It's going to be 7, I believe it's 7 a.m. PST, so 10 a.m. Eastern, that we will be getting the trailer for the final trailer number 3 for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let me know your hype levels in the comments. I'd love to hear how excited are you for Tears of the Kingdom. Well, we're gonna keep talking Zelda here. This is from My Nintendo News. Lost Continent at Universal Orlando's Island of Adventure will close in May. Possibly, now this is just a rumor. It's just a rumor. It's not actual news. It's just a rumor, so grain of salt. Possibly for a Zelda-themed attraction. Let's jump into the article here. It says Universal Orlando is currently in the process of closing the Lost Continent themed attraction area. There's a typo in the article. At the expansive theme park. The park has announced today that the last ride of the Lost Continent attraction is closing, along with the Poseidon's Fury at Universal Orlando's Island of Adventure. There have been rumors since the announcement of Super Nintendo World that Universal Orlando and Nintendo were considering retheming the Lost Continent to the lands of Hyrule. Sources previously reported that one of the Zelda-themed attractions is a ride with floating bleachers that rotate around, watching Link in the center, which is based on the classic Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Another attraction is a water-based ride that transitions into a suspended dark ride halfway through the ride, which would be affiliated with the Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The Reddit user who posted the theory says that if anyone is wondering why Universal would separate the Legend of Zelda attractions from Super Nintendo World, then they should be made aware that Universal did exactly this with Harry Potter, which saw them having 3 separate Harry Potter sections in Epic Universe. So this could be interesting. And what is this pointing towards? If this is true, going with some, just speculating a bit here. If this is true, we had the Mario Kart attraction at Super Nintendo World. It's mostly Mario themed, right? It looks very Mushroom Kingdom, and then we saw the Super Mario Brothers movie come out. If The Legend of Zelda is next, could this be pointing towards The Legend of Zelda being the next movie and or show we see coming from Universal and Illumination? Or is it Illumination at all? Some are speculating or at least hoping that it is going to be a live action, not an animation. Either way, I would be very excited to see something from The Legend of Zelda on the big screen or even in a TV show. The question is, what would you guys like to see? Let me know in the comments if you would prefer to see live action or animation, and if animation, what style would be best suited for The Legend of Zelda? Could we see something that looks all like Wind Waker? Could we see something that looks a lot like Breath of the Wild, kind of like watercolory almost? What animation style do you think would best fit The Legend of Zelda TV show slash movie? Let me know in the comments below. The last little bit of news here that we're going to talk about is from Gizmodo, and it's the Super Mario. Get this ad out of here. Okay. The Super Mario Bros. Theme becomes the first video game music to enter the Library of Congress. Now, this is pretty cool. This is from the article here. It says today, the Library of Congress announced that 25 recordings representing some of the defining sounds of the nation's history and culture will be added to its National Recording Registry. For the first time, the additions will also include music from a video game, Koji Kondo's iconic Super Mario Brothers theme. There's a lot of iconic pieces of video game music that are instantly recognizable by gamers around the world, including Tetris Type A, music from the Legend of Zelda theme, but the first piece of video game music to be added to the Library of Congress National Recording Registry, absolutely, this is from the article, had to be the Super Mario Brothers theme for many reasons. Continuing on here, it says not only did Super Mario Brothers, which was bundled with the NES when Nintendo's first console launched in 1985, help save the video game industry after its disastrous crash in 1983, it remains one of the top 10 best-selling video games of all time, with some 58 million copies sold to date. The first level of Super Mario Bros. Is considered a masterclass in game design, introducing players to the various mechanics and gameplay of the side-scrolling adventure without the need for a tutorial. And it helped establish Shigeru Miyamoto as one of the greatest video game designers of all time. What Shigeru Miyamoto is to video game design, continuing on with the article here, Koji Kondo is to video game music. As with the movies, the composer helped make video game soundtracks as integral to the experience as the gameplay and characters. And while he would go on to compose music for games including countless iterations of The Legend of Zelda, Star Fox, and other memorable Nintendo franchises, the Super Mario Brothers theme remains Kondo's most memorable composition. The Library of Congress called it perhaps the most recognizable video game theme in history, and it helped demonstrate how creatively the NES console's sound chip could be used, which the Library of Congress pointed out in a tweet. And here's a tweet. It says, a video game theme song, probably the most recognizable in history, is also the first for the National Recording Registry. The Super Mario Bros. Theme by Koji Kondo helped establish the game's legendary status and prove that Nintendo's sound chip was capable of vast music complexity. Of course, this theme, the theme of the Super Mario Brothers theme song, huge. I mean, just a huge part of my childhood and most of your childhoods if you're listening to this, I'm sure. And it is one of those things that you know, when I play the original theme for like my mom, she is just like, "Yo, I'm taken back to better times." Like or good times, right? When her children were young, and I was gaming, my sisters were doing whatever, and it was just a good time in life for her. And I know that this music has so many different memories tied to it for all of us, right? Because it's not just about the great music and the gameplay, but it's about where we were and what we were doing at that time, right? So let me know, what do you think about when you hear the Super Mario Brothers theme? Again, you can leave a comment on the YouTube video, in the Discord, or there is a spot on your podcast player to reply. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Nintendo News Minute from the Nintendo Powercast. I'm, of course, N64 Josh, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.